Welcome back to Virtual Realms. I've got a replay from Desolation. It's been a while since we've had one that we could put up in a timely fashion. This is actually from a few weeks ago, and I just hadn't had time to get to it yet. He's going to take the Meteor F Mk.3 up in a realistic battle and put the plane through its paces for us. Desolation is a very, very good pilot, very precise, and he uses good strategy and forethought in how he engages his opponents. Now, I personally haven't unlocked any of the Meteor line, so I am kind of anxious to see how this plane does in the hands of an experienced pilot like Desolation. Let's go ahead and jump forward and let him gain some altitude in the meantime. Although Desolation has a good amount of altitude, he is not in a superior position against all the enemy aircraft. There's a Focke-Wulf 190 overhead, another aircraft below. Many of the aircraft that he's going to face in this match are extremely good turn fighters, so he's going to have to be careful and be flexible in his target selection, taking targets of opportunity when and if they present themselves. Those were some very nice moves and a favorable result, but he's got a Horton 229 somewhere behind him and he's lost track of it. That is not a good position to be in. Even though hard-pressed, Desolation had to take a moment to spare to get that Focke-Wulf off his teammate's tail. But there are more enemy aircraft converging on the area. In a nice display of teamwork, Desolation's team has managed to clear the immediate vicinity, except there is still an Me-262 somewhere nearby. There he is. And that pilot is one of the better ones on the enemy team. The Me-262 was able to take out a friendly B-17 before Desolation finally was able to bring him down. But still, down he is. Desolation is running low on ammunition, however, and he's going to have to head back to home base to reload and repair. This has got to be a little bit of a tense interlude for Desolation. Not only are there other enemy fighters still aloft, but there's also an Arado out there who would love nothing more than to bomb Desolation on his home base, and he was last sighted in the vicinity. It's probably best to get this landing over with as quickly as is humanly possible. Fortunately, the Arado did not make an appearance directly over Desolation's base, but he was near at hand. And Desolation doesn't have much to work with in the way of speed or altitude. Still, he has little choice. He's got to give chase. The Arado is doing what it does best, using its immense speed to pull range from enemy fighters, but Desolation has spotted a very important secondary target. There's another Focke-Wulf 190 up there going after a B-29. B-29 is doomed, unfortunately, and Desolation isn't able to get close enough to do anything about it, and he simply doesn't have the altitude at this point to be a viable threat to that Focke-Wulf. He's going to go ahead and peel away and head in the direction of one of his remaining teammates. That Arado will keep, he can get himself into a position where he can more successfully pursue it later. But that Focke-Wulf is a bit of a worry. It's overhead right now, in a superior position, patiently biding his time and awaiting the opportunity to strike. The Focke-Wulf continues on past and gains altitude, trying his best to lure Desolation into climbing up after him, bleeding off airspeed while he does so. It's a clever plan, one which Desolation partially complies with. He does gain altitude, heads in the Focke-Wulf's direction, but he's careful not to bleed off too much airspeed as he climbs. Focke-Wulf decides it's time to go for a head-on, which Desolation gracefully avoids. The Focke-Wulf has tried to compensate for his abrupt maneuver, but failed and overshot. And now the tables are turned. Desolation is building up a lot of speed in his dive, and is pulling the Focke-Wulf in behind him. Desolation has the superior energy state, and manages to get enough range to prevent the Focke-Wulf from being able to bring his cannon fire to bear accurately. Yes, the tables have distinctly turned. I'm just not sure the Focke-Wulf pilot realizes it yet. Now it's Desolation's turn to gain speed and altitude over his adversary, and all the while a friendly teammate is closing in on the area. The enemy pilot, Grumpy Tank, had his opportunity, and he blew it. And now it's just a matter of time. Desolation is now at 4 kills, and there's one last enemy aircraft in play, that pesky Arado. So they're going to head in the direction of friendly ground units and wait to see if the Arado decides to continue his ground attack activities. It isn't long before the Arado does just that, and you really can't blame that pilot. Left unmolested just a little bit longer, he could conceivably win this match through ground attack alone. But time is something he's just run out of, as Desolation and his teammates set their sights on the elusive German bomber. They close in for the kill. Well, you have to give props to the German team. They were well skilled and well organized. But in this case, they were just a little overmatched. Another great match, Desolation. Thanks for turning it in. You will likely see more of Desolation's replays in the near future. He's one of my best contributors. That's all I have for you for this time around. And until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.